Hello fish tankers, we're here at Aqua Empire. I've been here a long time ago and I really enjoyed it. We're going to give them another visit and see what's changed and what they've got. Okay, that is what you see here at Aqua Empire. It's actually in a big suburban house in the suburbs, and you come into the lobby and you have this counter here with little terrariums and lots of dry goods there off to one side and continuing, and then you have your first rack of aquariums, but it gets a lot bigger than just these. There you see some frozen foods. So we're going to take a tour through this big house full of fish. And here we've got some Harlequin rasboras, or the lamb chop rasboras, the Espai ones with a smaller triangle, and then we have some fin rainbows as well. These are very nice rainbows if you have smaller aquariums. You know, if you don't have a space for the Busmanis and the Lake Kutubu rainbows and the red rainbows, these guys make pretty good additions to any aquarium. And then you've got some angels here, and you can also see the bettas are not in jars. They are swimming one by one in the aquariums with the other fish. You can also see the different temperaments of these bettas. This particular one is slightly on the feisty side. And there's some sort of a tetra rasbora in the background. I couldn't get the camera to focus. Some very nice sized, healthy looking neon tetras here, along with the guppies, and they've got these side sump filters in most of their tanks. And there you see some ember tetras and glass bloodfin tetras, and there's another betta swimming around. It's nice to see them not in these tiny cups. Plenty of ember tetras, plants as well. And you see those lamb chop rasboras, the rasbora Espai, that different version of a harlequin in between. And these are rice fish. We don't often see them in South Africa. I believe they can also go in cooler tanks, you know, room temperature, if I'm not mistaken. I've never kept these. And some very nice endlers. Quite a bunch of them here. That's your guppy in parenthesis for the smaller aquariums, and some coolie loaches. And this is interesting, you see there's a little gap there where the side sump separates. I think the silicone pulled away or something, and these coolie loaches has made this their own little cave. They go in and out of that side sump and congregate over there. Some more guppies and plenty of assassin snails. If you have a snail problem, you solve them with the assassin snails, and then you have the assassin snails to contend with. And some black tiger dario. You know, the scarlet badders. This is similar to that. A nice little nanofish that's a bit different. Tiger badders. And some nice angels as well. I'm not sure what you call this variety, sort of a mottled one. And there's Corridoras barbatus. You see they're a bit more elongated than a normal Corridoras. You don't see that often as well. That's what I like in these shops here in Joburg, especially in Aqua Empire. You get stuff we don't always see in the Cape Town area. And I think, I'm not quite sure, the colors are washed out. Never mind, I've already moved on. And you've got some very nice guppies here, and you see even these are males, but in between them you'll see a female that's also quite brightly colored. And those are emerald dwarf rasbouras, very similar to the CPD celestial pearl Daniel. They can actually crossbreed, but then they don't result in a very nice fish. And these, I think they are female Asian rummy noses, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, tell me in the comment section. More female guppies. Now that's a nano fish, and now if we walk on, we see there's Artwell sitting there. Subscribe to Aqua Empire's YouTube channel. There's some very nice unboxing videos there of Richard and Artwell, and sometimes Zubair as well. Platties. And you have to have these glowfish. Hi, good and you. And there's some glow light tetras in between them. And here is, this is interesting. These are crebensis, but they look a little bit different than your normal crebensis. And the swordtails here at the back I really like, because you don't see them often. That's a sort of a wild, more of a wild type coloration swordtail that we used to have when I was a kid, back in the 80s. These were kind of swordtails that you found. And some Venezuelan orange cories. And lots of bristlenose plecos. Some male guppies. And some females in between. Nice looking male guppies these. And the white cloud mountain minnow. I've said so much about this little fish. Hardy fish, doesn't even require a heater, peaceful. More guppies. There's no lack of guppies around here. And some beautiful discus, nice size discus as well. These are the Marlborough red discus. Sometimes they're called tangerine or watermelon, but they're listed here as Marlborough red. And there is a turquoise discus and a bright yellow discus. You don't often see that. Some really nice sized discus here, and a nice pleco there. And there you see the cardinals. That's your usual addition to discus, cardinals and rummy noses, and I still think it's a combination you can't go wrong with. It's been done many times, but I love that combination. Guys, please remember, smash that like button. It'll help YouTube to know there's something good. And here we have mascara barbs, those with the black spots. And there, I'm really interested in this one, if a gold barb can just stop photobombing. Those are snakeskin barbs. Look at that pattern on them, and I'm told, and they've confirmed it for me here, they're not as nippy as your tiger barbs. So they're good community fish. And of course you see some German blue rams, but that's a bucket list fish. Some neon tetras. I've got a bit of a blackwater thing going on in this aquarium here. And more, what are these? Some more rice fish. Nereid snails, horned nereid snails. I asked you guys to weigh in, do they leave those funny little eggs that the other nereid snails leave? And the consensus seems to be that they don't. So that's a nice snail that won't breed in a freshwater aquarium, and that will eat some green spot algae. Some more discus. Really nice looking one here. There's a turquoise discus. And then in between here are red robin gouramis. I used to think they're a color variant of honey gourami, but they're not. They're actually more towards a thick-lipped gourami. And look at those plecos having a ball with the algae. Algae can sometimes be a very good thing if it's not out of control. It's all about keeping things in balance. And here, it's not running rampant, and besides, these aren't show tanks. There's some Busmani rainbows, and there's some Serpay tetras, and there's a group of whiptail, royal whiptails, Farlowella type catfish. Very peaceful catfish. They grow to a reasonable size, so you must have a sort of bigger tank. More rams and cherry bobs and black angels. You'll see you can put the cherry bobs over angels because they don't fin up. Those are some yellow phantom tetras and black Moscow guppies. And you see the moss, that's the sort of foliage you want if you want the fry to survive. Corridoras trillineatus. It doesn't just happen. And here is a display. We're going to get back to that shortly. We've got some Kerry tetras and Colombian redfin tetras. You know from the videos of my tank, those Colombian redfin tetras can really become nice when they're put on size. Yet more angels. And also those are Prestella or X-ray tetras. And people ask, what do you keep with angels? Be careful of neon tetras, they might eat them. Nothing smaller than a cardinal tetra, but those sort of heart-shaped tetras, they will survive because the angels can't fit them in their mouth. There were a lot of Ottocinclus there, some Polgaramis, like a very nice centerpiece for a bigger aquarium. And here we have a big sorority of female bettas in between those tetras. And we've got some roseline sharks or torpedo bobs. And here we have gold tetras. Go Google gold tetra because they are way too fast for a camera and they look like nothing in the store, very drab, but they've got a very sort of a shiny gold color. It's something different that you don't see every day. And these are Praecox rainbows, dwarf neon rainbows, and clown loaches. Clown loaches are great fish, but they need a big tank. They grow very, very slowly. And here we go into the next room. And here's a couple of displays. We're going to do the displays individually towards the end of the video, so stick around for that. I caught them here on maintenance day. So you can see it's a suburban house and you walk through the house and every room there's just fish. It's not used as a suburban house. There we see world famous aquascaper and betta breeder Zubair Ibrahim. Here at Aqua Empire working on that ADA system. You've got the fridge here with all the tissue culture plants and the potted plants. Sorry, this is not the fridge. This is just a humid environment for plants, and there's some cork that you can use for aquascaping and for your background. And some really nice shrimp sitting on this Java moss. Shrimp and moss go together. That looks like some black tiger shrimp. Fancy tigers. And here we have the green neon tetra. Guys, please remember to share the content. I'll have to get it out there. Please tell me in the comment section, what's your favorite neon tetra? Do you like these green neons? Do you like the cardinals like I do? Do you like just the plain old neon tetras, or maybe even the black neon tetras? Let me know. Some more shrimp. Moscows of shrimp, and so does Suzvasa tank. They also like to hang out there. And here we've got some Amano shrimp scuttling about. Great algae eaters. Let's check at them working. Always going with those little, what do you call it, claws of theirs. And some gold laser cories. And some interesting plecos there. Don't ask me to identify them. I'm not I love the smaller plecos like the ones you see here, but I'm not one that can say L32, L so much and L so much. For more serpate tetras, glass bloodfins. And they're also starting a marine section now. You can see there's some cardinal fish and some clowns and a sailfin tank. They've just started the marine section. They're still running in most of the aquariums. But that's interesting. There you can see there's some more marine fish. There's not a light on that at the moment, but here you can see this stand. That's going to be marines. Then you will walk through yet another room where we've got some aquariums and stands ready to be bought. And let's check out these aquariums as well. Goldfish. Good old goldfish. Just remember, if you put goldfish in a small bowl, you will be taken outside and shot. They need big aquaria. These are the single tail common goldfish and comets. They're better suited for a pond. The fancy ones, the ones with round bodies, at least a 4-foot tank for them. Some traditional big plecos, some more angels. And here we see some fry of some kind of fish. If I have to guess, I would say these are convicts, but I could be wrong. They look to me like that. And here we have some CPDs, celestial pearl danios, and the all-stream loaches on the glass like a little stingray. More comet goldfish. If you don't want to go through the rigmarole of koi and all the expense and you want to have a pond, they're great for that. And these are the more fancier varieties with fixed set bodies. 80 litres for one and then 40 litres for each additional one, and Congo tetras. Lovely bigger tetra for bigger planted aquariums. Makes a great display. You can see both the males and the females there. One of my favourite fish. And silver dollars and a big featherfin synodontus. Really nice looking fellow. And there is a Chinese algae eater, a rather nice looking one, a gold version. I don't like those fish because they can get aggressive and they can wreak havoc in a community tank. But when they're in with big robust fish such as these, they can be okay. More goldfish. They really have a bit of everything over here. Now if you walk to the back of the house, you'll see there's a betta rack there at the back. And there's a water barrel system with a RO unit. And yeah, that's how you should do bettas. Let's just check this out. It seems to be a little guppy breeding project. There's fry and youngsters all over the place. And lots of floating plants. You know, the roots that hang into the water, that helps the youngsters to hide. So I think they've got their own guppy factory going here. Right, let's check out the betta rack. You can see it drips through all these little compartments. So they constantly have water circulating, but it's not working at the moment. There's no bettas in here. You see there's a sump. So that explains why they put the bettas in all the normal aquariums. Now here's a little marine display, a tiny little reef tank. There's some corals growing in these two clownfish. Designer clowns, you know, not the normal coloration. I'm in two minds whether to do something like that again. I used to have it in the past. A little paludarium. Don't see any livestock in it. There's probably a couple of shrimp buzzing about that there. And here we go. Look at this beautiful high-tech planted display of a CO2. And you've got some albino cherry barbs in here. Beautifully offset with a black rock. This is an ADA system. And there's a very nice beta there as well. What is nice about Aqua Empire is they've got all these display tanks, and they have different kinds of equipment on different display tanks. Like this is an ADA one, and this is I believe an ADA Aquascaping, and this is an ADA one as well. This is a Discus display, and I caught them here on maintenance day, so you see they're busy cleaning out the filter and doing water changes. And this is one of their newer setups. So I think it's going to look really nice in a month or two down the line when the plants have grown in a little bit. The Discus are hiding. And here's yet another high-tech aquarium. I think this is a Ysterhout light. So what I was saying, it's very nice to walk around these displays, and you want to decide, do you want an ADA light or do you want a Ysterhout light, and they're actually using them in display, so you can walk from tank to tank and check out what the difference is in these high-end lights. Lots of celestial pearl danios along with a penguin tetra swimming around. And celestial pearl danios are tiny fish, but if they're in this bigger tank, they're still very small, but they grow bigger. So bigger is always better with aquariums. I love this. This is more sort of my kind of thing. This jungle style, very overgrown with plants, the cherry bulbs going around. Apparently it's very similar to my tank in the sense that they breed all over the place. And there is a pea puffer popping up. There's two of them. Now, pea puffers, I would always say, are not community fish, or any puffers for that matter. But these two puffers here in the heavily planted tank with the cherry bulbs, according to what they tell me, don't bother anything. So sometimes it does work out, especially if it's heavily planted in a big aquarium such as this one. But normally I wouldn't chance it. But if you're going to do it, this big tank with all the plants and the fast moving cherry bulbs seems to work out. I just wonder, what if it doesn't work out with the pea puffers? How are you going to catch them in those planted, among those plants? Here's yet another setup. Beautiful metallic blue betta here. Colors are absolutely stunning. And here we have, look at the colors popping under the light of the rasboras here. These are using CO2, as you can see. These are high-tech setups. And yet another one, and these are smaller tanks. So you can have a small tank and it can look spectacular, because this is about a 2-foot tank. And lots, they've got something there called a diamond neon tetra. It's got a different sort of coloration. And then of course the celestial pearl danios, just look at them. Look absolutely spectacular, and they display well because they've got numbers and they've got hiding spaces. And here's a bigger aquarium. You'll see the Busmani, the Siamese algae eaters. There's a black tiger bulb there. And that's the one I'm interested in. The snakeskin bulb. That's a new bucket list fish for me. There just went the tiger bulb behind him. I'm looking just to get him in the camera shot. There they are at the back. The other fish can just stop photo bombing. Okay, there we see the snakeskin bulbs, 3 of them there. I would really like to give you those bulbs a try, but what do you do when your aquariums are full and you like the fish and you don't want to get rid of them? You get another aquarium, but then your house is full. And here we go into the kitchen, and in the kitchen they've got filled with nano tanks mostly. Look at this carpet. That white device in the corner is a Ysterhout Doctor. It apparently makes a sort of a mist and it prevents algae. Has anybody used it? The Ysterhout Doctor? Let me know in the comments. It'd be interesting to know how it works and if it works. That display has just been set up. You'll see there's some fungus growing on the rocks, that's on the wood, it's just biofilm. It's nothing to be alarmed about. It'll go away on its own, and if you chuck in some otters, they'll take care of it, and there's a good nutritional boost for them. Very nice looking paludarium. This would be nice for frogs, or maybe some vampire crabs or something like that. Can't find movement there. Doesn't seem to be anything there. And look at what you can do with these small little tanks. This is about a 10-gallon tank or less. I can't quite remember. Those Siamese algae eaters, of course, won't stay in this tank long term. That's just there to combat some air algae, and I'm sure we'll just move them on into the bigger tanks. Another nice little display with the guppies there. That one's tail was taken a bite out of, but it should grow back. Look at the baby guppies hiding out behind the filter. They truly are the rednecks of the aquarium world. They just keep on popping babies. This over here, I don't know what they're trying to do right now with it, but I think it circulates in a circle and is actually meant to keep jellyfish. Here is the hardscape being put in. Something is on its way for this little tank, of course. And here's another little small tank full of plants with rice fish in it. I don't know about the rice fish, you know. There's a tiger dario and a glass catfish. He needs a few buddies. A very nice guppy there. Look at the color popping. And some more celestial pearl danios. And I have a nice little tank. This is the last display. Just look at those crypts. Lovely. And there's some Axelrodi rasboras there. Also a bucket list fish for me. I've never had those. Well guys, now we're going to go outside. Take a look at all the hardscape here. Plenty of rocks and big pieces of wood as well. If you want to be serious about your scapes and you have a material for the larger aquariums, there's a dojo to just try it out at first. And they're planning lots of things here. There's a big swimming pool here, but Zubair has told me they're thinking of sort of creating a parking lot here at the back for customers to park. But that's Aqua Empire. It's definitely well worth a visit. And there's the spiderwood, and we're going to end off with the dry goods here. So that's it from me, guys. Please remember to subscribe. And until I see you again, take good care of those domestic denizens of the deep.